Okay, good evening, everyone. We're here for the regular council meeting of August 19th. We'll jump right into introductions and then go into it when it comes to public hearings. I will introduce how public hearings work for the RM. And we have with us in person, Councillor Jason Bonnerchuk. Good evening. Councillor Janine Boulanger.
Good evening.
Myself, Chris Ewan. Good evening. Our CEO, Shane Ray.
Hello.
Councillor Shane Pelletier. Good evening. Councillor Joella One. And in the background, our Assistant CEO, Dominic One.
Good evening.
And that's it. So we will go into item number one, meeting called to order. Do I have a mover? Councillor Bonnerchuk, second. Councillor Pelletier, thank you. Questions before we open the meeting? Nothing. Call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed? None. That's carried. I'll open the meeting at 7:01 p.m. Item two, adoption of the agenda. Do I have a mover? Councillor One, second. Councillor Boulanger, thank you. Changes to the agenda. I know our CEO has to add something.
There's one addition regarding a land purchase.
Thank you. We're adding that to the 12.5.
Correct.
Thank you. So that'll be added for 12.5 for this resolution. Anything else? Changes? Council's good with the process and agenda as is, other than the addition? Good. Call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed? None. That's carried. Thank you. 3, any declarations of interest? None. Thank you. 4, adoption of the minutes. Do I have a mover? Councillor Pelletier, second. Councillor Bonnerchuk. Minutes are regarding June 17th, 2026 regular council meeting, July 7th, 2026 special council meeting, July 15th, 2026 regular council meeting. Council, you've had that in front of you. Is there any edits, changes, or discussion on those minutes? No. Call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed? None. That's carried. Thank you. We're in public hearings now.
You betcha.
Public hearing. So the public hearings work at this time for the Army Bridge Shot is I will call the item number out and then the CEO will have a quick say. After that, I will open the public hearing and ask if the applicant or someone speaking on behalf of the applicant would like to make a presentation. They would then come up or turn on their microphone or video and they would have 10 minutes to discuss what the plan is. After that, I would ask if anyone wishing to speak in favor wants to speak in person, same procedure. You'd come up and you would have your say for 10 minutes. Anyone online or on the phone wishing to speak in favor after that, please unmute your microphone and turn on your video if you can. If you're lagging a bit, feel free to keep it turned off. And then I will ask if there is anyone wishing to speak against in person, same procedure, come up to the hot seat and then you would be given 10 minutes. Anyone online or on the phone wishing to speak against, again, same procedure, microphone, video. If you can't do your video, that's fine. You'll be given 10 minutes. Then we'll do a final call. This is for anyone wishing to make any general comments, ask any questions, maybe say to speak in favor or against one last time. If you haven't already done so. And then I will close the public hearing. During the public hearing, I always do ask council to engage in the person wanting to speak or if you have any questions for them. And then once the public hearing is closed, please keep the gallery and the council separately. No more conversation between the two. It is for council only to have that conversation. So your questions should be asked by then. And then we will vote on it. So without further ado, we will go to 6.1.1 variance V2 2026 Oak River Meadow Inc. No civic address. Ilda Shane.
Oak River Meadow Inc., applicant Landmark Planning and Design. They are applying to vary the following lots for 351 lot subdivision. They to vary the minimum front and rear side yard or yard setbacks, minimum side yards for a number of lots, both single family and 2 family lots. And the minimum corner side yards as well for all single family and multifamily lots, and the minimum corner side yards.
Thank you. I'll open the public hearing at 7:04 p.m. Is the applicant or someone wishing to speak on behalf of the applicant? Come on up, Brennan.
Thank you. And
Sorry, Brennan, just before I could always forget. When you do come up, please sign in, just so we have your name and information, and then you can start speaking. I always forget to do that.
okay, we did it early this time.
Perfect.
Just a quick process question before we get started. We will have a chance to respond to comments made, correct?
Yeah, so that'll be the last round of comments, questions, final speaking in favor or against. That's also the time for the applicants or anyone wishing to respond back to the questions asked.
Okay,
Thank you.
appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, we do have a presentation to pull up.
Take your time, Dominic. It counts towards theirs.
I won't need all 10 minutes. Okay.
You have 1 minute, go.
Stopwatch right there.
Perfect. Thank you. Okay, good evening, Mayor, Councillors, and Administration. My name is Brennan Johnson. I'm a planner at Landmark Planning and Design, joined by Matt Glavin from Terracon Development. Thanks for the opportunity to present the next part of our application for Oak River Meadow Phase 2, which is for the variances and conditional use requests that we are seeking. The presentation covers both because they're tied together. We'll go to the next slide, which just shows the project team, and then we'll go to slide 3, please. So just as a bit of a reminder of where we left off, Council approved the subdivision rezoning of the remaining 90 acres of land that will complete the development of the Oak River neighborhood last month. And the approval of the subdivision and rezoning confirmed the total number of lots that were created and the sizes of those lots. And we just wanted to highlight that the requested variances are not seeking to increase the total number of lots or decrease the size. It's not seeking to change the intensity in any way, shape, or form. In order to establish planned two-family and multifamily uses, conditional use approval is required for select lots, and the variances that we're seeking are being requested in order to ensure cohesion with Phase 1 of Oak River Meadow and the architectural controls that are currently in place to guide development, to promote planned and orderly development, and also to promote the efficient use of municipal services, which will contribute to sustainable growth and development. And we also wanted to note that the variances that we are seeking mirror the same ones that were applied for Phase 1, which were approved and are currently under construction as well. The zoning that is in place is RG5 and PR, and in the RG5 zone, conditional use is required for the multifamily and two-family. And this map here shows where those would be. So in the orange and the brown colors are where we're seeking conditional use, with the exception of the property on the west side of Old 59, which has conditional use in place already. And for the proposed variations, again, these are to ensure a consistent design throughout Oak River Meadow neighborhood. So for single family lots, we are seeking to reduce front yards from 30 feet to 20 feet. This will pull buildings closer to the street and away from any existing homes or development, and create a more walkable, pedestrian-friendly sort of streetscape. We are also looking to change the requirements for side yards from 5 feet to 4 feet for any lots that are 50 feet in width or greater, and to vary the minimum requirements relating to corner side yards to 5 feet as well. For two-family lots, we're seeking to reduce side yards from 5 feet to 4 feet, and corner side yards also to 4 feet. And then for the multifamily lots, we are seeking rear yards of 20 feet to allow for a bit more flexibility in how those sites are configured, and to also reduce the corner side yards from 10 feet to 5 feet. Again, all of which are consistent with the Phase 1 of Oak River Meadow. Just a reminder, these are the types of homes that we would expect to see on these lots. So here are examples of single family and two family here. Community consultation, we've described in a fair bit of detail over the last couple of hearings related to the subdivision and rezoning, but we did just want to highlight that there have been a number of meetings and touch points with community residents dating all the way back to February 2022. And regarding feedback, so concerns related to land use adjacency, as mentioned, the reduction in front yards will actually bring proposed homes further away from existing development and grant a little bit more breathing space in the rear yards. And similarly, the reduction in side yards will allow for different product types, increased housing choice and options, and just increase what's available on the market. Design, this will all work together to ensure cohesion throughout the entire neighborhood so that there's a consistent character and form. Again, there's no change to the intensity approved from the subdivision and rezoning, so there are no implications on traffic, and there's no implications for infrastructure either. Drainage can still be accommodated properly. all of that will be submitted to the municipality for review and approval as part of the servicing drawings. The requested conditional uses and variances are consistent with the policies of the McDonald Richat Planning District Development Plan for rural centers, and these focus on promoting a variety of land uses that are well planned, identifying opportunities for infill and compact patterns of development, which the variances will help to achieve, ensuring that development is contiguous and expands in a logical sequence related to the provision of services, and promoting a mix of housing types and densities. In summary, the requested conditional uses and variances are consistent with the policies of that development plan. They are consistent with the approval of new homes and lots from phase 1 to ensure that cohesive design. They will work to increase housing choice and options for Illusion residents at various life cycle stages. The variances are considerate of adjacent existing land uses, and it all works together to promote the efficient use of services and sustainable development. Great, thank you.
Thanks, guys. Council, open up for questions from council to the applicants, representative or applicant.
I have a few questions. I thank you for the presentation and went by really quick. And I know we did the same thing for phase 1. And I hear a lot in the presentation that the reason for all of this is for consistency. There's got to be, in my opinion, a better reason. Maybe because it's to be more be cohesive with phase 1. But if we made a mistake in phase 1, let's just say we don't want to repeat our mistakes. So can you tell me what the reason and what the logical reason for going from 5 foot to 4 foot in lots that are 50 feet or greater? I don't understand that.
So it's on the lots that are larger. So there's some that are slightly under 50 feet where we're not seeking that reduction. On lots that are larger where we could accommodate homes that have a front garage with a bit of a reduction in those side yards.
Or to allow for bigger home.
It can allow for bigger homes, and with that as well, more of the house will be exposed from behind the garage, so you'll have more of a residential character. The 4 feet on both properties will be 8 in total. You can still accommodate all of the required drainage, all of the grading. There's no negative implications for how it's serviced. You use a little bit less pipe when the homes are closer together, so it's more efficient in that manner. It's easier to get the services in place, and it doesn't cause a detrimental effect for anything related to how those lots are developed. It's still buildable, it creates a good product, and it does allow for a little bit more living space as well.
Okay. And so the 5 to 4 is okay, but 10 feet to 4 feet on a corner lot, that's a lot. So can you, again, sorry if you've said this many times.
No, it's okay.
Educate me a bit more.
So typically the reason that there would be a larger requirement on a corner side yard is for things like snow storage. But going down to 4 feet, there's still the front yard setback. There is actually a lot of room to accommodate any required infrastructure that goes into the ground to accommodate snow storage on top of the site. It's not disrupting sight lines for cars that are approaching a corner because there is still that 20 feet of room before they would get to the intersection. So it is, in a way, just kind of working with the space that you have. The other thing with some of those lots, if you have a 10-foot corner side yard, by the time you actually situate the house on that property, it makes it a little bit harder to build and place that house. You don't end up with a lot of buildable space left when you still need to accommodate that side yard on the other side of the home as well.
Okay, so when you guys are first doing your whole overall plan, should the corner lots not have been a little bit larger then to accommodate, to stick to the bylaw? We hear this a lot, you know, we come up with this plan, now we need to vary everything. It's frustrating. So I just wonder, yeah, I know you guys are trying to squeeze in as many lots as possible for maximum profit. We get that. But we've got bylaws and in place for a reason. So this just seems like you're just throwing it out the window and we're just gonna ask for forgiveness, you know. So I just
Yeah, no worries.
it's a hard thing to deal with.
Yeah, it's not intended to be thrown out the window. Most of the corner lots, they are wider in consideration of it being a corner. It just does still grant that flexibility that you can still situate the house on the property. You can still accommodate the snow storage. We've seen other developments with similar approvals as well, not just phase one of Oak River Meadow, where it's been successful. It works and it looks nice and it contributes to sort of all of those things like the cohesion, the design, the aesthetic, and accommodating that larger home on that property.
And have you talked to Public Works about the reduction and what that implies?
Certainly, it was a topic of discussion that came up within phase one. And all of the servicing and all of the drawings were approved both from the province and the R&M to accommodate all of the yards as well as the right of ways that were proposed. And this is a mirror image of exactly that.
Okay, I just want to make sure we're not making the same mistake. Like if it didn't work in phase one for whatever reason, let's just not do it again because that's what we allowed previously.
No, I believe it works well, and that is what we're seeing.
That's what I was there, maybe rephrase it as, was there any issues in phase one?
Right.
That
Right.
might be the question. There were no issues you found,
No.
and that's why you're doing the same thing.
Well, it hasn't snowed yet.
Fair.
I don't think anybody's living there yet.
Okay, council, anyone else?
Yeah, so front yard setbacks, 30 to 20, and then the backyards from 25 to 20. At the end of the day, makes for a bigger backyard.
It will make for a bigger backyard. The other thing is it will pull the houses closer to the street. Again, as Brendan had alluded to, it's creating more of that inviting environment for people to walk on the street. The other thing in all of this that we can't lose sight of is affordability. That extra 10 feet is an extra 10 feet of a driveway. That is a substantial cost. So that reduction is actually quite substantial for someone who's looking to get into the market.
I'm all for that. I personally don't see a problem with that. I just question 5 feet to 4 feet on the sides. I don't like. It's not as if we're saving a foot and then you're adding 2 lots at the end of the road. And I'm just picturing that skid steer coming in to dig somebody's pool or whatever and 4 feet wide. I don't see why, unless you tell me otherwise, why it needs to be 4 feet instead of 5. What are we gaining or losing?
Well, really, it comes down to the design and the character of the homes that we have put forward as part of our overall architectural guidelines package. And what that provides is more of the visual perspective of the home and the footprint of the buildable area provides that more options to be built with. Shrinking it actually shrinks the possibility, and you probably just from the street view see more garage than you would home. You can drive through some neighborhoods where it kind of looks like a snout house. That's all you're really seeing. So to have that nice sort of rural character to the homes that we're looking for, it provides for that opportunity.
Anyone else on council?
No,
No?
I think, yeah,
No?
for now, I'm good. I don't think we've made a mistake on our first phase one, so I'm comfortable with where we're at right now.
That's fair. Okay, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If anyone here in person wishing to speak in favor? Anyone online or on the phone wishing to speak in favor? Anything received in favor? Anyone in person wishing to speak against? Come on up. And just leave or Bruce or both just sign the dotted line there. And whenever you're ready.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and members of council. Thank you for the opportunity to speak again this evening. We have already filed a detailed written objection to the variance and conditional use applications. I will not repeat that submission tonight. Our position is simple. Both applications are premature. Council previously directed a 40-foot forested public reserve buffer and indicated that Arrowhead RV Park would be involved in the development agreement negotiations. We have also been awaiting responses to the detailed questions we submitted at earlier hearings regarding construction management, wellhead protection, liability, and risk allocation. Neither that participation nor those responses has occurred yet. Until those baseline matters are resolved and a complete site plan for the multifamily block is provided, the current record does not give council the evidentiary foundation required under the Planning Act to find that these yard reductions and proposed conditional uses are safe, compatible, or represent the minimum modification necessary. Approving setback reductions and multifamily uses before establishing the baseline requirements reverses the orderly planning sequence contemplated by the Planning Act. Further, this is a large development that will essentially double the size of Indeshane. The variance requests are not limited to a few unique lots. They propose a blanket reduction of front, rear, and side yard setbacks across the entire phase. Approving that kind of across-the-board change before the development agreement is finalized risks establishing a new, lower standard for the community without first putting the necessary rules and safeguards in place. Council recently denied a similar setback variance request at Desjardins Court. The same careful approach is warranted here, particularly given the scale of this project and its interface with an established tourism business. We therefore ask council to deny both applications at this time so that the development agreement work and meaningful consultation can be completed first. This does not block the developer. It simply ensures that baseline requirements and site plans are established before exceptions are considered. Finally, should council proceed to a decision tonight, we respectfully ask that the decision record clearly identify the planning rationale, evidence, and considerations relied upon in reaching that determination. Thank you. We're happy to answer any questions you have.
Thanks so much. And for myself, if I can speak, is, and at the very least, is the properties that are along our side that are joining to our property, that those properties aren't, they need to get hot tubs. Like we've got that, we've agreed upon the 40 feet when realistically we were looking for the 50. And at that time too, you guys, Terracon said that none of this could happen. We couldn't move homes. We couldn't redesign. We couldn't think. And you guys agreed, right? You said, yeah, you know what? They can't redesign. It'd be too much money. But now we're coming in here and we're redesigning the properties. We're moving houses 10 feet forward, So does that mean I get an additional 10 feet of that forest? You know what I mean? Like you guys have, we've sort of come to this point here. And it's frustrating, right? Like it's
very appreciated.
yeah, like it's.
And also, sorry, to the point that Councillor Belanger made, they said that that phase one has worked. Well, phase one's not complete. There's no houses that are finished yet. They are just starting. So how do we know it worked? I don't know it worked. You don't know it worked because nothing's happened yet, really.
Like they do have water drainage problems, talking to people from Rosy Bloom, right? Like, so it's not a perfect, like we did a bang up job. We nailed it. We don't know if we nailed it, right? So I don't know. To me, you'd get your development agreement in place. They've chosen their lot sizes as is. And you've also got a portion of the development that they're looking for approvals that is like blank slate. And so is that included in this talk today? Are we approving everything for the blank slate across the highway for conditional uses? Is that in part of this?
So any response back?
I have a quick question about one of your comments about the order was done wrong according to the Planning Act. Can you maybe explain that again?
When you look at the Planning Act, it talks about having the development agreement in place. And that's kind of the first thing. It's like the first step. It doesn't say it's the first step, but it's sort of implied in the way that the flow of the act goes. And it makes sense because that's the ground rules. The Planning Act is, the development agreement is the ground rules for the development. So if you don't have that in place, how can you then go make exceptions? Because variances and conditional use are exceptions to the rule. If we don't have rules, how can you make an exception? So we're putting the cart before the horse if we're going to do the variances first and then we're going to do the development agreement after. Doesn't make any sense.
We've never done a development agreement after.
You've never done a development agreement after you've done the variances?
Yeah.
It seems very out of place.
Just trying to remember if we were. I don't. That's an opinion. No, I appreciate that. Did you have another question?
No, I just
Wanted to.
wanted
Yeah.
to verify that. If it doesn't say the order in the Planning Act, of how these go, then I guess it's up for interpretation.
In a letter here, point two, you talk about high density uncertainty for block 15.
Mhm.
Did you, and I think one of the points you talk upper story, did you have a concern?
Yeah, it's because it's really not clear. There's two block 15s. If you look at the plan, like we don't have a lot of information because all we have essentially is just this sheet here. And so there's two block 15s. There's this block 15 and then there's the big block 15 to the west of us. Like which block 15? Why are they both block 15?
Yeah, I think I actually made that comment at.
And honestly, like, we don't even know what's going in the west side block 15. Like there's no plan, there's no information about what the buildings are going to look like, what the footprint of those buildings will be, what the parking situation will be, what the flow of traffic will be. Like, there's just a lot of open-ended things that are not settled. So how can you approve anything for that until you have a proper plan?
Yeah, I agree with the two lot 15s. That's a question mark there. When I hear lot 15, it concerns the one immediately north of you.
Yeah,
And I just, to finish my question, and maybe it's my own question, but did you guys have concerns about the types of dwellings that are gonna go
well, I
up?
thought when we,
Well, I
the
thought-
last meeting, we were talking single story.
Okay,
I thought they were gonna be single story, yeah, which
No,
is fine.
I
Yeah.
agree.
But the
I
other
just-
block, but the other block 15,
But
like,
also
we
too,
don't
like
know.
if they start reducing the sides of that home, you gotta bring in a hot tub. Your air conditioning units are usually on the side of the home. They're usually not to the north or the south,
Window well.
right? So you're reducing that by at least another it's gonna be over 2 feet for an air conditioning unit. So, you know, out of a 5-foot spot, now you're left with 3 feet. So if you're gonna get anything into the backyard, are you gonna be bringing it down through the trees? Are you gonna be, you know, am I gonna have a neighbor out there with a chainsaw cutting himself a spot, right? Like,
And as far as the numbers go for my measurements of the ACs and all that, I checked with a professional in that area, and they confirmed the numbers for me. So those numbers are true to what the specs could be, what the specs could look like, which means one air conditioning unit could take up that whole entire space up to, if they put a privacy fence, the whole space, or encroach on the neighbors 4 feet, if it's 4 feet and 4 feet.
Okay, we'll have a discussion after, but I too was under the impression, single family, just for that strip.
yeah, that's what I was under the impression.
Not that,
Mhm.
okay, well, okay.
Nothing else? For now? No, we're good. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Okay, anyone else in person wishing to speak against? Anyone online or on the phone wishing to speak against? I know we have some received against. My decision is for information for council. Council has reviewed it. Is there any points we're going to bring up on the stuff that was received? 2 letters received? Well, one from Lee's, yeah. And
One from Lisa and then one from Cindy.
Yeah. And do we want to bring up any discussion on key points from that letter? Council's good with it as is? Yep. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Lost my train of thought. Any last call? Anyone wishing to speak? No, sorry. Anyone wishing to make any general comment in person, online, or on the phone? If the applicants want to answer any questions now, maybe that's the right time to do so.
Hey, thanks for having us back up here. A couple things that we wanted to touch on that came up. One, starting with the Planning Act and the seeming premature. We just wanted to reiterate that we're professional planners. We follow the Planning Act. It does set the ground rules for what can happen. It's not interpretive in that sort of way. This is the standard process. We submitted our applications for the subdivision, rezoning, conditional use, and variances to the municipality at the same time. The decision made was to hold the hearing separately. So there was no redesign of the plans. This was always part of the application. There hasn't been any change in that regard. Comments made about planned and orderly development. That is actually what we are trying to achieve with the variances. So they do promote planned and orderly development by ensuring that cohesion throughout the plan area. Again, it was factored into the planning process when we made the applications. It was always envisioned to come forward with this request in consideration of phase one, the architectural guidelines, and all of the other reasons that we had mentioned. The yard reductions that we're seeking, they don't have a negative impact on any existing properties or homes. There is a bit of speculation perhaps about future homeowners and what might work or not work for them. But in terms of bringing the homes closer to the streets, away from existing homes, we actually think that it is improvement for anyone who's wanting more separation or a little bit more space. As mentioned a couple of times, does this work? Do the yard reductions work? We have confidence in the Public Works Department that in their review of phase one and this application that they believe it works. We're comfortable that it works. Even if phase one is still under construction, we have seen this in other developments, in other municipalities, in other communities, and it does lend itself to a really good product. Regarding reduced side yards, comments about having air conditioning units and those sorts of things. The air conditioning units aren't required to go in the side yard. So again, that is a little bit speculatory. There's other places that they can go. There would be no encroachment into the neighbors' yards. There would be no encroachment into that public reserve buffer that was decided by council. Part of the reason for that becoming public reserve is so that there would be no access to it or coming from it. Our understanding is that there is no access planned through it. So there would be no access planned for these homes that back onto the public reserve to use that to gain access to their properties for deliveries or anything else. Also, there's some confusion about two Block 15s. The reason is the property on the west side of old PTH 59. That is its legal description. Block 15 of a different plan number. So that's why there's two. And Block 15 in our development on the east side is because it would have been strange to skip from Block 14 to 16. It's two separate plan numbers. Nothing nefarious there, but happy to provide any additional clarification that might be needed.
I appreciate that because the last planning meeting I was at, I thought about it for 2 hours, very confused. Thank you.
Fair, you're welcome.
I would just add one point within our architectural guidelines. For interior side yards, we discourage side yard fences. So it actually creates more of an open space between the two properties for those passageways and things like that. The other thing when it comes to details about multifamily design and those sorts of specifications, whoever is the purchaser of our multifamily lands will not only have to conform to our architectural guidelines, but also with all RM permitting bylaws, as well as review of the details of designs, whether that is with approaches, whether that's with parking, whether that's with a multitude of facets. There'll be opportunities for the RM to weigh in on that.
So when you say discourage, do you mean forcefully discourage, or you just say, hey, you shouldn't do this?
Well, we authorize and approve the plan approval, so we're not going to outright say, or approve, I should say, fencing within the side yards, interior side yards.
I think that answered all questions. Council, did you have any follow-up from listening to?
I do.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I just want to make clear this whole Block 15, I totally get they're two different plans. So these, and I don't want to ask questions because sometimes I think they're dumb questions, but I need to know where all these setbacks doesn't include that block at all.
So the setbacks for the multifamily would apply to Block 15 on the west side of Old 59. And then also the Block 15 that abuts that public reserve.
Okay.
On Lot 12, which is the multifamily, this multifamily reduction in rear yard would apply. And then the side yard and front yard variances would apply to those single family lots. The 1 stories.
Okay, so plan 74751 is part of this variation
Correct.
as well.
Correct.
Okay.
And so the reduction in the rear yard on that side of the highway would again pull those buildings further away from the highway.
The block 15 that borders Arrowhead, there's going to be a fence there that we've talked about, so nobody can come back with their skid steer through the tree line. Was there not a discussion, and again, forgive me if I forgot what the answer was, but was there not a discussion about making sure those houses are far away from that tree line as possible?
Yes, yeah, so the variance that we're seeking for that front yard will help to achieve that. It would pull the buildings from 30 feet
Right,
to
but
20
your
feet.
backyard is going from 25 to 20. So you're pulling it forward, but you're stretching.
Not on the single family lots.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not seeking a reduction in the rear yards on the single family lots.
Oh, multifamily,
Yes.
my apologies. Got it there.
No worries.
Okay, cool.
Anything else?
No, that's it. Thank you so much.
Follow up from the rest of council? No? Okay. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Any final general comments? Anyone wishing to ask any final questions in person, online, on the phone, or anyone wishing to make any, in favor or against? One last chance. None. I'll close the public hearing at 7:36 PM. Do I have a mover? Councilor 1 second, Councilor Pelletier, thank you.
So we have variance V2 2026, owner Oak River Meadow Inc., applicant Landmark Planning and Design, variance proposal to vary the following lots for 351 lot subdivision. I'm not going to go through them all, but there be resolved that the variance application is approved with the following conditions. The only condition is the applicant must comply with conditions set out for conditional use C8 2026 that should be heard later.
Thank you. Should be heard later, you said?
Will be heard later.
Okay. Council, open up for discussion for council. Anyone wishing to start?
I'd like to address Ms. Neal's letter.
Sure.
Talking about country style living. One thing we don't have is a mix, like a huge mix in Old Ildershane.
Mix in what way? Do you mean, Councilor Pelletier?
Lot sizes, housing types. The first introduction of that for Ildershane was between the highways. And we've got lots of stock in Old Ildershane of 1/3 acre lots. Her concern there with this changing the feel, I disagree with, because moving to the country and living rurally isn't decided by the size of your lot or your house. It's if you want to live in rural and be a part of a community, you need to do that internally and not externally. My kids need a place to live that they can afford. And that's not going to be on a 1/3 acre lot with a brand new house. Even our current stock of 1/3 acre houses is likely out of the price points for my kids at this time. So I like the housing options. I like the choice. I'm a big fan of the layout. It's the team at Landmark does a good job of single family, dual family, multifamily. I like the split. I'm good with it.
I agree 100%. I just had a question and I should have asked, so I'm not going to because I always tell council not to. Maybe council can refresh my memory. Did we see side yards change in any other developments in Richshot?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay,
Yeah.
to 4 feet.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That was my next question.
and same with corner lots and Turon Creek. areas.
We just did
Thank you.
earlier this year.
That's, you just confirmed what I want to hear. Thank you so much. That's it for me. I agree with you, Councillor Pelcher. Anyone else from council?
I agree with, the reasonings and that. It's just a frustrating process. And I understand that the developer needs to make maximum profit. I get that. But to always request for smaller lots, for different setbacks, there's gotta be a better way. Either we revisit our bylaws or we deal with them earlier on in the stage to say, no, you've got to design to our standards, because it's not gonna, what is the point? Why do we have standards if no one's gonna follow them? So, I'm not saying we haven't done it before. That's why I was saying, just because we did it once doesn't make it right. But if it's worked in, Turon Creek has been working, it's fine that way. So
Okay.
it's just a frustrating process that we always go through. So
Yeah.
we can look at that in the future.
That's valid. Anything, Councillor Robinson?
I mean, I'm not a fan of shrinking lots, but the fact that it keeps it the same as what's already being started on phase one, the cohesion part makes sense to me.
Okay, anything else?
No, again, the lot sizes aren't changing. You're just losing frontage. It's a bigger backyard. It provides distance. Mr. Bale had made the comment. It's like, the house now will be a little bit more that way. Would have allowed another 10 feet there, but you're still getting that distance from the house, not the yard. So good point there. But anyways, it is listed now that I see the color coordination here. These are single family, and that's one thing that was on my radar big time.
Okay. Nothing else?
Sorry, just single family, but single
Story?
story. There's nowhere that it says that it has to be single story, right?
No, that was.
That'll be in the
DA.
development agreement. Gotcha. Okay.
Okay.
Let's keep that in mind.
Excellent. Okay, nothing else? Call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed, none, that's carried. Thank you. 6.1.2 variance B7 2026 Genuine Signs LTD 161 Cedar Bay, Hill Des Shane.
Owners, Sean Ralph, Kim Buxton, applicant Genuine Signs, proposals to vary the maximum sign surface area requirement from 225 square feet to 294 square feet, to vary the quantity of signs per business from 1 to 2 for the installation of 2 new wall-mounted illuminated business signs in a CH commercial highway zone.
Thank you. Open the public hearing at 7:42 PM. Is the applicant here? Someone wishing to speak on behalf of the applicant? Come on up. And if you could both just fill out, please. And then just your names, because I don't believe I've met you, so if I have, I apologize.
Devin LaFerrier from Genuine Signs.
And I'm Kim Buxton from AIC.
Go ahead.
Okay, sorry, something very new to me, so it's a little bit overwhelming, to be honest. I don't, the bottom line is, we just want, we own AIC Supply, which has a sign on the front side of our building, not facing the highway. And now we have an aftermarket division that we've started, aftermarketfarm.com, and we want to make the sign larger so that it's visible to farmers. And they're just two different divisions, two different sign names, so it can get kind of confusing too when farmers are looking for, the aftermarket side, and it says AIC right now.
I love the sign. I think it looks great.
Thanks.
I think one of the concern that council has, and council correct me, because you're all smarter than me, do we not worry that it could be blocked? Do we want to bring? That was a bit of my concern, just.
Yes,
If you have a neighboring.
I agree 100%, and that's a very big
Just don't want to
concern.
waste money. So.
Yeah, we've been discussing this a little bit internally and also with the owner of the land that we bought from. And so we're just crossing our fingers that we get a couple years at least of that, and then the farmers around the community will start to know where we are anyway. And I've talked to the sign company to say, is it possible that we would be able to move the sign? And of course, they said if there's a will, there's a way. So, I mean, it's a risk we're willing to take, and we would maybe do something else with the sign down the road, so.
If there's a bill, there's a way.
Yeah, yes, that was really more the,
I think council, I know it wasn't me, I'll take the credit though, didn't we talk about maybe could you move it a little bit closer, just in case?
Right away, yeah.
Yeah,
like to the, like.
to the front,
left,
like,
the-
I can't remember.
Closer to the front of the
Yeah,
building.
closer to the
Well,
front.
and we talked about that too, but I stand on that side and I keep looking like, where would somebody build on that lot, you know? And like, they could build it right adjacent to us, and like, then it could be blocked, or they could go further back and want more of a parking lot. I don't know, like, I don't know how that would all work. So those are really good questions. And again, like, we're just trying to decide which is the best. I feel like if we do it further, I mean, I like it looking, you know, in the middle of the building, just for the looks of it. But if we go further a little bit the other way, maybe if they build, then driving from the highway, you'd still see it like
Yeah.
at a certain angle. So
It was just a personal, as a business owner, I want you to have maximum value in what you're doing, so it's just something.
appreciate that very much. Yeah.
I think it's a great thing. I have nothing, no comments, council.
Just commenting again about the location. So obviously just Genuine Signs has a software where they just take the sign and put it on a picture of your building. So I'm sure you've done this. If he could just give you options of where that could be, just so you could see what it, because you said you like it in the middle, but maybe ask him to give him a couple of options of where it could be before you pull the trigger.
Yeah, we have looked at that, and I've thought of making it smaller and putting it on the peak, because I feel like then we have a better chance of not getting it blocked. But then I don't think it would be as visible, and people will be like kind of maybe staring at it longer and trying to figure out what that is.
Okay.
So, yeah, but yes, they can do that.
Well, we're all sign experts here, so.
And I like the new, this is fairly new, so I like this. And
I think it's about 2 inches higher than it needs to be.
Okay.
You can leave. Council, anything else? Awesome. Okay, thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Is there anyone in person wishing to speak in favor? Anyone online or on the phone wishing to speak in favor? Anything received in favor?
No.
Anyone in person wishing to speak against? Anyone online or on the phone wishing to speak against? Anything received against? No. Final call, any general comments, questions, wishing to speak in favor or against, in person, online, or on the phone? None, I'll close the public hearing at 7:47 PM. Do I have a mover? Councilor Lemoine, second, Councilor Boulanger.
Councilor Booth? That seemed like a bit of combination.
Claude Lange.
Hybrid. Sorry, variance V7 2026, Genuine Signs Limited, 116 or 161 Cedar Bay, El Shane. Their proposal is to vary the maximum sign surface area requirement from 225 square feet to 294 square feet, and to vary the quantity of signs per business from 1 to 2 for the installation of 2 wall-mounted illuminated signs.
Thank you. Council comments, questions, open up for debate.
Technically, two separate businesses to this, so do they need that second part of that?
Well, they're putting 2 signs on for that separate business.
Yes. Okay. Keep thinking about that. Anything else from council? No? Okay, call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed, none, that's carried. Thank you. You guys are free to leave now. Tanis will be in touch if she has anything to give you guys. It was passed.
Thank you.
Sometimes they talk so fast, I don't even know what I'm saying. Thank you and good luck. Aftermarket.com. That was correct. Do we have another one? 6.2.1, conditional use CA 2026 Oak River Meadow Inc., no civic address, Ile des Shane.
Owner Oak River Meadow Inc., applicant Landmark Planning and Design, zoning is an RG5 zone. Conditional use proposal is to allow multifamily and 2-family residential development for the following proposed blocks. multifamily in 7, 8, 14, 15, lot 12, two-family, block 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12, 13, 16, 18. And the lots are outlined in the notice.
Thank you. We'll open the public hearing at 7:50 PM. Applicant wishing to make a presentation or speak on anything?
Not planning to present again, but happy to answer any questions that council has. We sort of covered it with the last one, but if there are questions, we're happy to answer.
Council, quick minute with them, anything to add?
Quick question about like the multifamily, like it's just a big blank slate, so it would be kind of nice to see any kind of conceptual.
I think it hasn't been purchased by builder yet, correct? That's
No,
why they haven't.
is that why?
Right,
That
yeah.
would come.
Okay,
forward.
okay, and we can address it in the DA, so, okay.
Anything else? No. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Is there anyone wishing to speak in favor in person, online, or on the phone? Anything received in favor? Anyone wishing to speak against in person, online, or on the phone? Come on up.
I don't know if I have more to say, but
It's okay.
what we said a bit earlier stands. We don't know what's going there. How can we, because it's right across from us, how can we respond to whether or not this is a good idea to do this conditional use or not? Or, because we don't know the footprint, we don't know what exactly type of building is going there. We're gonna need some type of buffering probably between the two because it is still residential. So, I mean, we haven't discussed all of those things with the development agreement, so I'm at odds as to how we can approve things without having anything in place. You're making it, again, making an exception to the rule when there's no rules. No defined rules yet, so.
Council, any
Well, I think we're just saying that it'll be allowed because by a conditional use process. So we're just saying that that land can be used for multifamily. It's not saying,
So that doesn't have anything to do with the reduction of,
For the,
Setbacks or
for the
is it-
conditional use, no. For the
No.
variance,
So just
yes.
Mhm,
Counselor administration, you can confirm
Yeah.
that that's correct?
yes.
Yes. Yeah. Conditional use is just allowing this land to be used for what the conditional use sets out under its schedule or.
But we'll have opportunity for like discussion over interface and
That'll,
traffic and all of that.
that'll come
In the development
in the
agreement.
development agreement. Yeah, once they start to develop or build on it, but you can't really entice a builder on an empty plot of land without a conditional use. That's the way.
Saying
I
that
look
this is what you can allow, what you
Yeah.
can build on here, yeah.
Yeah.
So they just want to put up to RG5 then, is that?
Mr. CEO, you want to confirm what the,
Well, the zoning currently is RG5.
It's zoned as
That's what we're rezoning to then.
We're not rezoning,
Well, what's conditional use?
allowing,
Allowing the use for that purpose. So basically, it's allowing the use for multifamily,
Okay, so the size of the properties haven't been determined yet then?
No.
Okay,
not on that multifamily yet, no.
and that's on that block 15 on the west side.
Right. So what'll happen is then a builder will purchase the
Yeah.
land, or maybe there'll be two, I don't know, and they would come forward with various proposals and ideas.
Okay, so that land's currently for sale. And that's what we're saying.
well, the
For
Not-
residential use.
the lots will become for sale once the conditional use goes through, because now it's more appealing for the builders to have an appetite because there's something that can be done.
So there will be no business going in there.
Business?
You know,
No.
like what kind of property is there?
No, this is so conditional use is specifically one multi-family for block 7, 8, 14, 15, block 12, and two-family, block 1, lots 1 to 12, block 3 lots 1 to 18, block 4 lots 1 to 20, block 5 lots 1 to 18, block 6 lots 1 to 18, block 12 lots 1 to 32, block 13 lots 1 to 32, block 16 lots 1 to 16, 18 lots 1 to 16. So this is specifically for multifamily and two-family.
Yeah, we
So
can't
that's-
say we're not
That's
this,
on the east side of the highway.
the west
Yes.
side.
no,
Right, so
this
not
is
the west
showing
side.
the east side.
Yeah, this is east side.
This is just east side.
Okay.
Can't say we're not disappointed. There's no other type of building other than residential.
Okay, it's, well, yeah, but it's, for
That's
the
what it
east,
is.
that's ours,
Yeah, the east side's our side.
which is already.
Sorry, you'd like to see business on the east side?
I would have liked to see business somewhere in the development, just as far as like
Yeah, I
mix for the
confused.
town. Like now you're separating all the businesses from town except for us. All the other businesses are on one spectrum of the town. And now you're gonna have just a bunch of houses and no services for those houses. And I can't see that businesses are gonna come if you don't offer opportunity for them to come. So it's, it's disappointing is all,
I'm gonna allow Landmark to come up and speak to that,
Yeah.
and Matt.
because we did discuss it with them several times throughout the whole planning process, that we would love to see a mix and not just houses. And where would you just have houses? So anyways,
No,
if you have no other questions, I can go sit over there.
I don't have any questions, Councilor. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Anyone else wishing to speak against in person, on the phone, or online? Anything received against other than the two that we've received? Just those two. Okay, council's reviewed that. Comments, come back up.
Great, thank you. Just a couple of things to add. I wanted to confirm that everyone is understanding the conditions correctly. We're seeking the type of use that would be allowed on those lands, but the specific plans that would be developed, they still need to come forward. They would be reviewed by council because Terracon is the developer and not the builder. That's why we don't have those plans in place yet. And I also just wanted to kind of reiterate that this is a long-term planning effort. So we're still working within phase one. There's a number of stages to still be developed before we start moving into phase two. So we want to have the approvals in place so we can plan what that looks like and start planning for the future. But there is still a lot of opportunity to take a closer look at those lands and potential future uses. Matt, I don't know if you want to speak more to that.
My only other comment is the block 15 that we've been referring to on the west side of Old 59. The conditional use that permitted multifamily was established for that entire block as part of our phase one. Within that, yes, we would like to see commercial uses there. We've established that multifamily is allowed within there, but that is not to be interpreted as a deterrent away from commercial uses. It's one of those chicken and the egg sort of things, is that we need doors before we can get commercial uses and attract the commercial uses. We've had some initial interest, but the comment and the feedback has been, we need to see some uptake and some people living here before it really becomes viable and desirable. So we're not deterring that or pushing away that possibility. We'd like to see that mix as well.
Okay. Perfect. Council, any follow-up question? No, okay, thanks, I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Big final call, anyone else in favor, against, online, on phone, in person, general comments, questions? This is a public hearing at 7:58 PM. Do I have a mover? Councilor Bonner, second Councilor J.
Conditional use C8 2026 proposals to allow multifamily and two-family residential development in a number of different blocks. I'm not through those blocks. Where I know it would take me too long to take off my glasses and read that and all the rest of it. So the applicant has applied to rezone the land from agricultural to RG5. And whereas multifamily is required in the conditional, whereas multifamily and two-family dwelling require conditional use approval. Great. And whereas council has considered the application and therefore is approved with the following conditions, applicant must have a minor variance for the site width for all those lots that do not meet the minimum requirements. Building permits and all other required permits and approvals from MTI, building code, fire codes, health standards, labor laws, etc. And applicant must provide a signed confirmation letter accepting the terms.
Perfect. Council comments, questions, debate.
Yeah, so outside of block 17 and 15, in this case, do we have to what you just read, number one, multifamily, block 15, do we have to stipulate the parcel number?
It said 12. Parcel 12, didn't it?
Oh, sorry,
15,
block
12.
15. Lot 12.
Oh, lot 12.
Which I'm assuming is the brown
Yeah.
section of block 15.
Oh, gotcha.
Makes sense? You're good? Okay. Council, anything else? No? Okay, call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed, none, that's carried. Thank you. I'll give you guys a minute if you guys want to leave now, or if you want to stay for the rest of the meeting, you're welcome to. Be about 6 more hours looking at the agenda.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, you too. Enjoy. Have fun, guys.
Okay.
Okay, 7, committee reports and minutes. Is this just for information? I can't remember.
It is for information unless Councillor Bondarchuk would like to touch on anything from the library.
Nope, I'm good.
Thank you. 9.2, council indemnities. Do I have a mover?
9.1.
9.1, so the batch summary and all of the accounts payables were uploaded there.
It's not, it's just for information, just so council knows.
I just wanted to highlight a few things. We're spending about $125,000 on lighting in El Shane for street lighting. Invested another $20,000 in dust abatement.
If we can go to that first one.
Yep.
That'll be for my main street.
Yes,
And once the lights are done, then the trees can come back.
yes.
Thank you.
Was that for the record, Councillor Kelsey?
Yes.
Sorry, so just highlighting a couple other things out of the batch. City of Brandon, $40,000, and that's for the 911 services that they provide for the RM. So another investment in community safety. We had our STARS donation was included in the budget this year, so that was previously approved when the budget was approved, but another $10,000 towards this community safety as well. And then spent about $40,000 to date on kind of rural ditches and drainages after the big windstorm. You've seen Centennial Gravel was out doing some of the work on behalf of the RM. About $150,000 right now into the supply and installation of the playground at Park Gautier. You know, Shane? Dote. Okay, we'll go with that one. $75,000 towards the TransCanada Energy canopy. That project has started and is going out, and the park and the playground structure is almost completed. And about 110,000 went out to Titan Environmental. Always good to support a local business. And that's for a number of our capital projects, Rue de Shane, street reconstruction, and Red River Drive capital projects as well. So just wanted to highlight some of those for council. If there's any questions about any of the batches or the batch summary, please let me know and we'll follow up with you.
Thank you, council. Anything? No? Okay, 9.2, council indemnities. Do I have a mover? Councillor Pelletier, second Councillor Boulanger.
The indemnities are there. Nothing to highlight at this point in time. Is there any questions? I would defer to the individual councillors.
Comments? Council's good. Call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed? None. That's carried. 10.1 bylaw 6, 2026 rezone from AL agricultural general to RRS rural residential service and CG commercial general. First reading. Do I have a mover? Councillor Bondarchuk, second Councillor Lemoine.
So giving first reading to bylaw 6-2026 being a bylaw to rezone part of Northeast Quarter 3284 from AL Agricultural Limited to RRS or Rural Residential Service and CG Commercial Zone as a condition of subdivision file number 4165268471.
Thanks. Questions for council? Debate?
Can we do like first, second, and third reading right now? Because like this has been going on for since before Tanis's time, I think.
Nope.
No questions. Yeah.
Call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed, none, that's carried. 10.2 bylaw 7, 2026 fees and charges, first reading. Do I have a mover? Councillor Belanger, second. Councillor Lemoine.
So updated fee schedule has been prepared and has been reviewed with council previous. Are there any changes were made in response? Are there any questions at this point in time?
Debate, council, comments, questions, discussion? None, call for the question, all those in favor? Opposed, none, that's carried. 10.3 bylaw 8, 2026 RSR pass-through rates, first reading. Do I have a mover? Councillor Pelletier, second. Councillor Bondarchuk.
Oops, sorry. So as a requirement of the PUB, this is to establish the pass-through rates for the wastewater treatment facility. So whereas the RSR has submitted an application to the PUB for approval of all member utilities to pass through initial interim wastewater rates to recover pre-operational rates during construction. This was approved from the Public Utility Board, and the rates are outlined in the bylaw.
Thank you. Council comments, questions, discussion, debate? None, call for the question, all in favor? Opposed, none, that's carried. Thank you. 10.4 bylaw 10, 2026 zoning bylaw 9-2019 amendment, first reading. Do I have a mover? Councillor Lemoine, second. Councillor Pelletier.
Again, bylaw amendments. These are all housekeeping, small items that have over the course of the last couple of years have popped up. So it's just to provide some clarity and hopefully some ease for both applicants and administration and council. So we are prepared to do the first bylaw to amend the Richshot zoning bylaw 9-2019.
Thank you, council. First reading, comments, questions, debate, discussion. Start the process. Call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed, none, that's carried. 12.1.1 4165-26-8502 Standoff Land Co. 14 lot residential. Do I have a mover? Councillor Bondarchuk, second. Councillor Pelletier.
Standoff Land Company, the applicant in the Lombard North has made application to subdivide 14 residential lots from the present holdings in an RG5 residential zone. MRPD has recommended approval as has Provincial Community Planning Services. Therefore, be it resolved that council approves the subdivision. No conditions.
Thank you, council, comments, questions.
Good to see you.
Perfect. Call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed, none, that's carried. 12.1.2 4165-26-8507 Standoff Land Co. 16 lots residential. Do I have a mover? Councillor Belanger, second. Mr. Pelletier.
Once again, Standoff Land Company and the applicant Lombard North has applied to subdivide 14 lots from the present holdings of 1.8 acres in an RG5 zone. 16, sorry.
It does say 14 in the
In the
resolution.
one motion, yeah. Sorry, we'll make that correction. MRPD and community planning have both recommended approval. Therefore, be resolved that council approves the subdivision with no conditions.
You, council, comments, questions? None, call for the question. All in favor? Opposed, none, that's carried. Thank you. 12.1.3 4165-26-8516 North Grassy Properties and 28 lot residential phase 8A.
North Grassy.
Do I have a mover?
Yes.
Councillor Belanger, second. Councillor Bondarchuk.
The Gowan Russell Group, on behalf of the owners North Grassy, is applying to subdivide 28 residential lots from the present holdings of 9.32 acres in an RRS zone. McDonald, Richshot, and Planning and Provincial Community Planning both recommending approval. Therefore, be it resolved, the council approves the subdivision. Applicant must attain a variance to vary the minimum side width requirement from the blocks are listed that are here, and applicant must attain a variance to vary the minimum site area requirement for the blocks listed in the motion.
Thank you so much, council. Any comments or questions?
So the variances, here we go again. They're varying the size, wanting them to be smaller than what we're allowing, what ours in our bylaw, right?
Yep.
Site width and site area. Okay,
Do you want to speak on that, Councillor Blanchard?
well, it's block 8, it's a little late in the game, but, again, they're just maximizing, which is great for them, but it's, why do we have rules? Just gonna keep repeating that, so.
I think that's a conversation that council can have as part of the larger strategic planning
Yeah.
process.
Perfect, okay.
So on the site map, block 1 to 18, that's good. What are the 2 pink lots at the end, block 2, 1 and 2? Wondering why those differ, or it's gonna be a,
That they're part of the first one.
Part of the first one, yeah.
block 2, this continues?
So
There's another
block 1,
subdivision.
yes.
So
So the first map,
Oh,
they're here.
oh, gotcha. Oh, it comes encompasses this.
Yeah.
Nothing else? Call for the question, all those in favor? Opposed?
no,
None?
I was just late.
That's carried, thank you. What am I at, 12.1.4?
Yeah.
12.1.4, 4165-26-8517 Northwest Properties, Inc., 29 lot residential phase B.
They made application to subdivide 29 residential lots, creating 27 additional lots from the present holdings of 10.31 acres. MRPD, community planning, both recommend approving. Therefore, be it resolved, council approves the subdivision. Applicant must retain a variance to vary the minimum side width requirement for the blocks and lots outlined here. And they must obtain a variance to vary the minimum site area requirement for the blocks and lots outlined in the motion.
Comments from council, questions, debate? Call for the question, all those in favor? Opposed, none, that's carried. 12.2.1, streaming infrastructure, Grand Point Meadows, phase 6A. Do I have a mover? Councillor Belanger, second. Councillor Warren.
The 1-year warranty for the Grand Point Meadow subdivision, phase 6A surface works infrastructure has expired as of July 29th. Final inspection was done by the public works manager, the developer's engineer, and the contractor. There were no deficiencies noted. Public works manager is recommended to council to assume ownership of the infrastructure. And that we will release the portion of the developer's line of credit for phase 6A.
Thank you. Comments, questions, debate, council?
Just a question about the quality of the roads. I know we've got standards, I think pretty high standards that the developers are supposed to adhere to. However, as we saw in the Grand, the road there's like tar, there's crack sealing everywhere. I just want to ask the question, obviously, or inspections are done throughout the process, I would assume, just to make sure that they're building the roads to our standards that are pretty heavy.
Correct.
So,
And we've also just recently updated our standards, I believe in the fall. We
the ground
provided some
would have been part of
updated public work standards for roads and things like that, so.
Call for the question, all those in favor? Opposed, none, that's carried. 12.3.1, 2026 tax sale reserve bid and designated officer. Do I have a mover? Councillor Bonnerchuk, second Councillor Pelche.
So we're holding a tax sale on September 28th, 2026 for properties where the 23, 24, 25 taxes are in arrears. Therefore, be it resolved that any properties where the 23, 24 taxes have not been paid. And so this is to appoint the chief administrative officer and assistant CAO as designated officers to act on behalf of the municipality, and that we may bid any amount to acquire the lands for municipal purposes should it be required.
Can't send them out there to do any auctioneering or anything.
For bidding,
Bidding, yeah, anything, yeah.
we'll see.
under therefore be it resolved, how come it doesn't say 2025?
Because it's always 2 years.
Yeah.
Outstanding, so 2025 is not.
You can be a year
Yeah, but we
Plus-
say 2025 in the first sentence.
Because you,
It's written because technically it's.
you have to be 3 years to get to the auction process of the 2 years taxes. So like,
Oh, there's my.
I know.
It is confusing.
Yeah.
But yeah, in order, like if someone was on tax sale, they just have to pay up to their 2024 taxes.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
2025 can still be outstanding.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. okay.
But
I get it.
technically those are.
Yeah, like you would get one notice, 2023, one
Okay.
notice 24, and 25.
Yep.
But if you paid up to 2024 and still had 2025, you're okay. But if you
Gotcha.
didn't, then you go on tax sale. I've been there a few times. When I was
You're
20.
very knowledgeable in this area.
I'm not a good person, but I'm not. Okay. Nothing else? Call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed, none, that's carried. 12.3.2, half incentive secondary suites, 10 units at 5K. Do I have a mover? Councillor Belanger, second, Councillor Pelletier.
So as part of the conditions under receiving the housing accelerator funds, we're required to do an incentive program for secondary suites. So this is creating an incentive of $5,000 per unit to a maximum of 10 units for a total budget of $50,000 funded through the half. So obviously not coming out of our budget. And again, an important thing to note is they must meet all zoning and building requirements. So there wouldn't be any exceptions. It's just simply if somebody has the opportunity to build a secondary suite, this would be an added incentive to do so.
Council comments, questions? Awesome program. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's great.
Okay, call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed, none, that's carried. 12.3.3, Bell Next Generation 911, NG 911 service agreements. Do I have a mover? Councillor Belanger, second, Councillor Pelletier.
This is authorizing the CAO to execute the Bell Canada Next Generation 911 Authority Service Agreement. We've had a number of discussions about this. We've reached out to our consultant who's responsible for GIS because of the GIS requirements in there. And Syngenta Consulting feels that they will be able to assist the RM to meet those needs. We continue to advocate to the province that they take on those responsibilities rather than downloading to the RM.
Thank you. Council comments, questions? Call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed, none, that's carried. Thank you. 12.3.4, compensation policy. Do I have a mover? Councillor Lemoine, second. Councillor Belanger.
So I brought this forward for council input and comments a number of times over the last couple of months. So the purpose of this policy is to just establish a fair and transparent, equitable, and fiscally responsible framework for setting and administrating and communicating employee compensation. So it's just outlining how we will do and how we review wages. So.
Thank you. Council comments, questions? None. Call for the question. All in favor? Opposed, none, that's carried. 12.3.5, MTI updates, provincial flood protection, dike reassessment, and Highway 305 speed limit changes. Do I have a mover? Councillor Lemoine, second. Councillor Bodnar.
One correction in the title, it's not to do with the dike reassessment. That was just for information. What's coming here forward is the Highway 305 speed limit changes. MTI is doing obviously a number of improvements on the 305 as a result of the bridge. They're changing a number of the speed limits on either side of the bridge to improve safety. They feel that this would also positively impact the safety of Highway 305 and 75, the intersection that is of great concern to us. And so they are asking us to formally request to establish and maintain a permanent year-round speed limit of 30 kilometers on Provincial Trunk Highway 305 between the Red River Bridge and the Provincial Trunk Highway 75. It is currently 30 as a school zone, and this will just be maintaining it throughout the year. So, yes.
Excellent. Council comments, questions? No,
I think it's a good idea.
Yeah. Nothing else? Call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed, none, that's carried. 12.3.6, rules for delegations. Do I have a mover? Councillor Lemoine, second, Councillor Pelletier.
This is just to formalize the rules for delegations attending council and committee meetings. again, it's kind of the rules that we were already following, just putting them down in writing and being able to share that with the community in a clearer format.
Perfect. Comments, questions, council, debate, nothing? Call for-
Get it out?
Yep. Call for the question, all those in favor? Opposed, none, that's carried. 12.3.7 rules for public hearings. Do I have a mover? Councillor Belanger, second, Councillor Bonner-Shaw.
Same thing here, just taking the informal rules that we've been following as a council and putting them down in writing and creating some documentation for the community so that hopefully we can improve on what we do.
This isn't just to keep the mayor from getting in trouble, is that? Was part of it as well?
No.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot learned by.
Questions or comments from council? Nothing, call for the question, all those in favor? Opposed, none, that's carried. 12.3.8, July 2026, building permit reports, do I have a mover? Second, Councillor Pelletier.
2026 building permit report has been uploaded for everybody to see. Year to date, we're at 205 permits issued, total value 53 million. This is in relation to last year where we had 162 and 40 million. So it continues to be a good year. And this obviously doesn't include the wastewater treatment facility.
But if it did, what would that number be?
300 million.
Thank you, thank you.
Yes.
Okay, comments for question of council?
Good strong
Yeah.
quarter again.
Again, yeah, call for the question, all those in favor? Opposed, none, that's carried. 12.4, request for noise bylaw extension, do I have a mover? Councillor Belanger, second, Councillor Lemoine.
So we have received a request for an exception to the noise bylaw. As it is an exception to the noise bylaw, we are bringing it forward for council approval. Individuals are having a wedding at 45 Prairie Acres Bay in Grand Point. They're expected to include approximately 87 guests. They're looking for a temporary tent. And it'll occur, they're asking to continue on until midnight as opposed to the regular 11 o'clock on September 13th, 2026.
Thank you, and this is for a wedding in Grand Point.
Correct.
I would actually propose that we ask to go to 1 AM so they can party a little bit longer because it's a very special day for those people. That's my opinion. Council? No? Yes?
I was gonna, I'm not opposed to that. I was gonna ask, I'm assuming, and that's what I would have done, is asked all the neighbors first, invited them.
Well,
That's a little bit.
Maybe not, but they've informed them. you
Yeah,
know,
they have indicated to us that they have informed their neighbors of what's going on. So
And so I just, further to your comment, maybe midnight was what they suggested, or,
and that is what the individuals have requested. So I would say if that's what they've requested, that's what we should provide to them.
okay, we'll let the record show that the mayor wanted them to party harder till 1 AM. Anything else from council? We're good as is with 12 then? Yes. Call for the question, all those in favor, opposed, none, that's carried. 12.5, landfill land purchase.
As council is
Do I
aware,
have a mover?
oh yes.
Councillor Pelletier, second. Councillor Belanger.
So as council is aware, the province of Manitoba is established a buffer around landfills in order for us to maintain an appropriate buffer area surrounding the landfill and any potential expansion to the east or west. We are purchasing lands, parcel A 13584 in section 32-8-4. Purchase price is 810,000 and will be paid for from reserves in the Housing Accelerator Fund grants.
Perfect. Council comments, questions?
Needed to move the project along.
Absolutely. Okay, call for the question, all those in favor? Opposed, none, that's carried. And 15, adjournment. Do I have a mover? Councillor Lemoine, second, Councillor Pelletier. Final thoughts for the evening? Nothing, call for the question, all those in favor? Opposed, none, that's carried. Close the meeting at 8:24 PM. Have a great rest of your summer and we'll see you in September, everyone.